Hi, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. It's time for the monthly wrap-up for April 2023. So if we start with my moon diary from Flickering Cauldron, it's my daily tarot journal. Here we have my daily pulls, and I've done better this month than I had done in previous months, or the previous 2 months really. So we've got more filled out in here. There's still a few gaps, like there's one there. One there. I think that's it, isn't it? So pat on the back. And for April we had which dragon? So we had our Aries dragon, and our colours were white, blue and green. The herb was dandelion. So I haven't worked with dandelion, but I have dandelions surrounding me in the garden. I mean, it's everywhere. I love dandelions. They're so bright and shiny, and they're kind of called that dragon's mane, aren't they? And they are currently, most of them have expanded into the little fairy, dandelion clocks, as I used to affectionately refer to them as a child. And so lots of them are ready to, as the old sayings go, take a fairy to new places. So as you make a wish on a dandelion clock and you blow the little seeds away, you give flight to a fairy. Is one of the stories behind what I call the dandelion clock, as opposed to the very vibrant dandelion flower. Anyway, so we have bloodstone for the healing dragon, and then just my daily pulls going through. We had the pink moon in April. I didn't make this oil. I was going to make this oil, but I didn't have quite a few of the things I needed. So I actually decided not to, because I was trying not to buy extra stuff, actually, is the main reason behind it. So I don't have patchouli, I don't hold geranium, I don't have pine oil, but I do have pine leaves. So I was going to attempt to make a mix of oil and herb, but yeah, that's why I decided not to with that one. But the oils and correspondences that they make are really lovely in here. We have some information there on the dragons and the elements. So it's got the 4 elements. We have fire dragon, water dragon, earth dragon, and air dragon, my dragon. We also had the eclipse there on the 20th of April. And interestingly, on that day, I got the world card. So starting anew. I thought that was really interesting with the eclipse and the new moon and how it all kind of tied in. And then we have the April new moon for Taurus here. And we also entered the first decan of Taurus as well, for those following the decan walk. And yeah, so just going through, seeing what's going on, and then end of the month. That's just my tracker. And then it's my birthday coming up in May, so I started trying to create like a birthday wish list of things that I can pop on a list and give to my partner, and he can pick one to gift me. And then of course I got my big wish list there, because I kind of stopped keeping up with it and realised that I could probably take things off my previous wish list and start again, if you know what I mean. So just reassessing decks I thought I needed once upon a time, and then what ones do I still really like or that are coming up. And I'm kind of trying to remove the old ones, if you see what I mean. So I'm like, if I haven't bought them and I haven't seen them and they're too expensive then, they're definitely too expensive now. What is it that I still want that's mass market and reasonable? So that's my big wish list at the moment. Although the I Ching of the Goddess by Barbara Walker, I don't know if that's a reasonable wish, but it's on there. Yeah. Excuse me. And then when we move into May, we've got the herb is going to be mint. And for many of you who haven't realised, have been around for a while, mint is one of my most favourite herbs. I'm really pleased it's the May herb as well. Especially coming to Beltane, there's going to be loads of it in my garden: strawberry mint, peppermint, spearmint, lemon balm, which is related in family wise. So I'm going to have plenty coming up, hopefully, to use and eat and put into my drinks. I love fresh mint and hot water drink, or tea I suppose would be the other way around of calling it, wouldn't it? So there's my my dailies, and then my monthly. So we are here, and if I bring you down now. Okay, so for the month of April, a bit of a combination here of doodle and collage. I actually quite like that. And then my card for this month, so we have the Fool, which you can see there. So my keywords I wrote down, a year ago was enthusiasm, faith, new beginnings. And I've got take a risk and trust that anything is possible. And then my oracle card that went with that one for the month is sad embrace, so letting go. So loss is part of life, let go and allow time to heal. Let go, experience your feelings so that you may soon see what beauty lies ahead. And it's actually the year anniversary of my grand's departure. So I felt that might have played a little bit into that for me. And then with regards to decks, I've used the Crow Tarot, Light Seers, Fallen Angels Oracle, the Wildwood Tarot for my Ogam spreads from Longmans Tarot, and then the Moonchild Tarot for one moon spread, and then I chose to go with the Mystical Moments for the other spread that I did. And it's doodles. So the other weird thing is I had pre-drawn up, I think, most of these pages within week 1, ready to go. So I sort of cut myself short really by doing that. But never mind, you'll see what I mean. So for my week ahead, I have my energy, my obstacle and my action cards. I didn't feel the need to write up anything else about them. And my week ahead was the Light Seers Tarot. So those cards pretty much speak and say what, you can see what they're going to say. So I didn't feel that I had to write anything else there. And then oracle card up here. And this one brought that lyric in, like a moth to a flame burning higher and higher. It magnetizes and pulls your desire. Yes, I played with the lyrics a bit, but that was the lyric I got really weirdly when I was doing this. And then my reflections, I decided to stick on an envelope. So the fiery creativity energy was kind of in full flow, I suppose. Then with regards to my Deacon Walk, entering into, 31st of March, we went into the second Deacon of Aries, which was our 3 of Wands with our Sun and Emperor. So there's lots of fiery creative energy in there. I kind of attributed what I was doing artistically to perhaps this at the time. The moon was also at this point in Leo as well, which I thought was just for me an interesting fact, because obviously each time we come round the moon might be slightly different, but I just thought it was really interesting to see, like, I had kind of 3 fire signs interplaying here, and obviously the Leo, as we know, is like that showman, so is the Emperor to a point, and the Sun card loves to be shining bright. I did do some, I decided to do like a wrap up on thoughts, which was about what was going on. So here we have the full moon spread. This is one that's been modified. So part of it is kind of inspired by an old ethne moon spread, and then the rest I've kind of added to myself and changed it up to create my one. And this was done with the Moonchild Tarot spread, and my doodling really kind of like took off. These are all inspired from somebody else, however, so it's not just, this isn't my drawings. I've kind of taken inspiration and put them together and put pieces together, and just to get the page looking nice, really. What do we have here? So for the full pink moon, I've put here, it's about self-love, inner balance and harmonizing. Work on your relationships with others. Most importantly, work on your self-relationship. So what does my mind need for healing and balance? What does my body need for healing and balance? What does my soul need for healing and balance? What should I do for my own self-care? And how will this help me improve relationships with others? So those were my cards to go with this. And interestingly, that very last one, number 5, how will all of this help me? I got the Magician, so inspiration and action. When you feel good about yourself, you excite those around you and you encourage good vibes. You have the power to change how you feel which will then alter the feelings of those around you. And I think that's a really kind of true statement. Then my week ahead, look, we're having a plant day. Back to Light Seers. I have actually really enjoyed my pages looking just like this. I don't know if it will continue because it does take a little bit of time up. So I was back to spending some time, drawing and reflecting and flicking through books for inspiration. But I actually really enjoying looking back at my pages. This feels cleaner, less cluttered than these do in many respects. I mean, that one's not very cluttered, but you kind of know what I mean. So this just feels, I don't know, it feels less cluttered. That's all I can say. So here we go. So we have my energy card for this week ahead, obstacles and actions. And then I do have here, so I wrote, do not precipitate negative energy, stop and grow from the lessons you see occurring around you. So you can grow from what you watch other people go through. You don't have to just be the one to experience it. By visually observing it, you are in many ways experiencing it in some way through your senses. So you can still grow from those things. And I just had this phrase going round and round and round that wouldn't leave me alone. And it is another one from a song, put a little birdhouse in your soul. So I've just written it in. I think this one came through from the month prior as well, actually. I think I had that one going. And of course, we've got my oracle card at the top here, which is the Phoenix, which gives us rebirth. And then for my reflections, so what needs to stop? Where is the growth? And what lesson do I need to pay attention to moving forwards? So it's just a slight change up. So what needs to stop in particular, whereas the growth changed up 2 ways, of which I was reflecting on what was going on for the week that's passed. Here we have another lovely bright spread. So I told you the birdhouses are playing out. I think I drew all these up in the same day, actually. So it's not surprising I actually went for a birdhouse. So we have my week ahead, and I've got the energy, the focus, and to avoid. And then I have my, so 2 cards up here. So we have Murmur and Vine. And then my reflections. So what went well, what can I improve, and how can I best achieve this, what I want to improve. So again, just basic doodles and lots of colour. And then we have the Longmans Tarot spread for the Willow Tree, 14th of April to 12th of May. So we're still in this season at the moment, as at the point of this video being filmed. And I have just drawn, like kind of weeping leafy doodles, really. I think I come off the page there, look. And then, just a couple of plants to break it up and take it back around. And then the layout is as Richie draws it. So this is the spread for information, for inspiration. Belliness of the moon, allow me to be flexible when the harsh winds blow and to remain graceful in the moonlight. Provide me healing and inspiration of the season of sail. Blessed be. And that's the little kind of, I don't know what you'll call that, prayer intention that's been written to go with the spread. And then it's a 7-card spread, so it's quite a bit going on in here. So what can I restart? Where can I find harmony? What is my inspiration? What needs healing? What heartaches need honouring? What needs cutting down? And message from Willow. And after all of that, I kind of, like with all my cards, I've just put here, sincerity, self-discipline and hard work is needed to walk a path that is true to you. Defend and protect the living legacy of the land as you tread lightly during your visit in this lifetime. Did I write that? Did I write that, or did Richie write that? Oh, I can't remember. I'm shocking. I am absolutely shocking. Sometimes I surprise myself and write a really profound piece of reflective stuff here, but what I'm not very good at is citing it if it's come from somewhere else, because I always kind of assume at the time I'm writing it I would know, and I'm shocked. I haven't written it again. That's the 2nd time, I think. Either I've been profound or I've read somebody else's reflection out. But I think it's a beautiful reflection, whether that's mine or somebody else's. I genuinely can't remember. Never mind. Please forgive me. So I did a FOMO spread, so fear of missing out. What I feel lacking or missing out on. What hole am I trying to fill? What is underneath? When do I let my FOMO drive my actions? How can I maintain alignment with my goals? What is this FOMO about? number 6. So I added a 6th to the spread. And I haven't actually I haven't even written down what deck, so you can see I was doing really well. I haven't written what deck I was using down. I have written the cards, however, so that's something. And then what is this FOMO about? I've used 2 oracle cards there. And then we moved into the 3rd decan of Aries. So I've got my information here for the 3rd decan of Aries, a little bit of doodling, some whatever you call them there, correspondences. And April the 21st, we moved into the 1st decan of Taurus. So I've started putting my information there as well for that one. Now my new moon in Taurus. This is the one that I chose to use the Tarot of Mystical Moments. I've left a spot here to put a photo of my spread in, which I haven't come back to do yet, but that's what this spot here is. And I haven't written down where I got the spread from. It might be an Ethany spread. Let's have a look. Enjoyment and pleasure. Take time out for yourself to enjoy life and its surroundings. Spend more time with nature and connect to all 5 senses. Focus on your daily habits to either change them for the better or to eliminate them for good. I've got, where in my life do I need to be more aware of others? Where do I need to be more gentle of my approach? What am I missing at this time to nourish myself? How can I reignite my passions? What should I spend time doing more of? And how can I build stronger relationships around me? Those are my questions there. And I've got my spread down here. And finished up with 2 oracle cards as well, just to wrap up my spread. And lots more doodling. So it's a doodly everywhere. And then the final week, wrapping up of April. Nice simple doodles again. So I have my energy, avoid and benefit. Then I did do a little summation here. A couple of oracle cards came out for this one, but they all sort of had the same kind of meaning. So we had 7 Bauer, Water and Mercury, and the idea behind it is help and healing. We had 1 for enlightenment, 1 for revolution, and 1 about deception. So I was worried about someone's deceit then not being reasonable and how I move forward from it. Actually, what happened was I got COVID. So help and healing, deceit, as in deceiving myself, not being honest with the fact that I had to stop, and the enlightenment of the fact that I actually had it felt more appropriate at that point, but I would never have known that that was happening. And then over here we had like the Chariot with the Knight of Swords, and then the 8, the benefit. Okay, so what do I do? So the energy of the spread, what should I avoid, and how will this benefit me? So that was how that went. And then it just, when I came back and looked at the fact that I had these 2 cards anyway, definitely it just looked like I was being derailed one way or another, and it was incoming and there was nothing I could do about it. So there was a different way of looking at the cards now, reflecting back and I was seeing them. But for my spread, because I still focused on that being my working week that had passed, so I wanted to know what obstacles I'd overcome, and the 8 of Wands came back out along with the 5 of Wands. And then we also had how will this help me moving forwards, and I got the 4. So bringing the 8 of Wands from benefiting by avoiding being overly focused on direction allowed me to see that there could be positive outcomes achieved from difficult situations. But then the obstacle that I've overcome would be personal obstacles, self-doubt, learning not to be afraid of the incoming messages, and occasionally overdoing the task in hand is what I decided I had there. And then one final spread that I did was with Ginger Faye on YouTube, Ginger Faye and Divine Musings with Woolly Hermit Mel. And she did exploring the energy within Mel's home and playful electrical energies that were going on. So she created a paranormal spread here, which was 8 cards. I've left a space to put my picture there. I've written down what I found here and how I laid out my cards. And to do this one, I did the Tarot of the Spirit by Pamela and Joyce Eakins. So that one, she has a Facebook group and a YouTube channel. So you can pop over to Ginger Faye Tarot and Divine Musings to find her playlists for these, because they usually she does them live every so often. They get posted, and then you can join in the spreads and do them alongside with her. And then if you go to her Facebook page, you can then share what you got. So that's normally what I do, is I share those pages over there for the person that received the reading. So that's that one. And then we are into May. I did talk about recently, and I will, if I remember, I'll put the link in here. I did talk about the Secret Garden. So I did a Secret Garden spread, which was inspired by Lennon Smith and Mad Witch, both the YouTube channels, which you should check out. I'll put the link to my version of this video down below, and you can follow this spread if you want to do it. And I've finally written it up, but I have left a space for my picture to go in. So that was one, although it's gone into May, I did that at the end of April. And one other person to mention is April at Tarot and Witchery has this Get Rooted in the Month Ahead spread. Now, I've drawn this myself, so this is my picture of it, but and I wrote out what she's explaining, but she's got a whole video explaining how to do this spread. So if you haven't seen it and you fancy trying out a new type of month ahead spread, then nip over to Tarot and Witchery, and if I remember, I'll put the link to that video down below, and then you have something to look at. But this is just me drawing into my diary ready to go, and this is one that I've obviously planned on doing the next day or two. So I've got the month ahead, because it'll be like done as 4 weeks, so I'll have the next 4 weeks to look at ahead. That one being in May is fine. That one is really neither here nor there, to be honest with you. There was only like 2 days in it for when I completed it, and the end of the month. So those are my month, well, that's my month in my journal. What was inspiring all of my doodling? It's this one, Journal with Purpose by Helen Colebrook. I bought it years and years ago, just to free up my doodling, and there is lots of pages in this. She does have a YouTube channel, so there's one item that I took out from here. I think I might have taken that item. Definitely drawn that, like simple elements. I drew that cake, I think. That one. So you'll see, depending on how much attention you were paying, of course. There are things, because she breaks down how to draw stuff. So I think I drew that with a little candle in the middle for my moon spread. I think I drew this one around my Longmans tarot spread. These daisies were bordering a few of my pages. But there are some nice, so I just like the fact that they're simple pen drawings. So from here, I had a glass or a cocktail. Do I have anything from this page? Don't think so. Took some pieces of fruit, I think, was in one of mine. Didn't do clothing, didn't need clothing. We did do a teepee, so I think this one down here, that was on my very first page, coloured in, that one made it onto there. These, I've drawn them somewhere else, so I have been drawing in other places, it's not just here. There we go, took that one. Here's where some of my my first week's cards of the week came from, like items that I chose to use. Oh, we have a fly. There we go. So I have the sunshine, so I've used him definitely somewhere. I'm cool colouring him in. Then we got here we go. So we've got flowers, got some wellies, some plant pots. There's my birdhouse. There's my brolly. There's my watering can, my spray bottle. So yeah, took quite a few items from here. And then with regards to the borders and stuff, she does also have things in here to help you square up. So there we go. So some of these around the edges of my page. Borders, there we go. That one in particular actually became a favourite of mine. That one's quite cool for using. Not so much these, I don't think. But yeah, so anyway, that's Journal with Purpose by Helen Colebrook. I'm not sure she's got 2 of these out now, but I know she also does a DIY watercolour flowers and the fashion doodles, but this is one that I was using decks, daily card pulls, the Crow Tarot by MJ Cullinan. This one's quite simple, nice and simple. Kind of had that brightness about it, so it felt like it fitted the month of April, and I hadn't realised that I was pulling it because I wanted it to fit the month of April. So that was just another thing with all the yellows, which kind of brought that fiery elements to it. And I think this was just a really nice deck. As a daily card pull, it's quite a simple reader. And, you know, obviously it's crows. There's no people in it. And it's nice and just, I think it's both easy on the eye, it's meditative, reflective, but the kind of shapes and things in there has a very simple, like, collagey effect to them. They're not overcomplicated, like our King of Wands. I mean, I just think it's got like a really simple depiction. And we've got the lion there, salamander. There's plenty of symbols that you can look at. Two of Cups. I think it's great, look, with the lion up there. So this one was my daily pull. So obviously one card as needed. Put that back in its box. My spreads was this one. So the Light Seers came back out for a bit. And so these are my 3 card spreads. And as I said, to those who are familiar with this deck, this one is just such a straightforward reader. Now you can read that as you see fit, but the images in this are beautiful. I love the colours. I've always loved colours. It's just it's like one of your tried and trusted. So I think now, having had it for a long time and played with lots of other decks, this one has become me like one of those friends, like the long-term friendships that you have with people. I think this is becoming a long-term friendship. You don't have to use it for 12 months and it's still, you know, like that same person that you expected it to be, if you know what I mean. It's not that it hasn't been played with because there's been a falling out. It's just because, you know, there's too much choice and variety in life and rotations, so it just means that it doesn't get seen. But yeah, I think from a pulling it out and working with it again perspective, it's been really nice to have it back in the rotation. It's almost a shame to be putting it away, but as always, there's plenty more that I need to get out. So to go with this, I'll just bring you out a bit. I also had my Oracle, and for that I'm using Nigel Suckling's Fallen Angel Oracle this month. Now, I've been asked in the past about Solomon's Seal in this, so I'm not a demonologist. I don't profess to be. I just really liked the artwork in this, which is one of the reasons why I kind of went with it, and the fact that it could be used because it had elemental aspects to it as well. I did, however, read a bit of this, and I can't remember where it was now, but in here Nigel explains where he's got the names of all of his angels from. He talks about numbers of beings being at precisely 72, along with their legions of followers. They were set to work in the temple. So it talks, yeah, so it does talk about the numbers. He also refers to the books in which these names have come from. I know some people have been a bit, can't think of the word I'm looking for, but they were unable to understand why certain names were missing from this list of fallen angels. I can't answer that question. And as I said, I'm not somebody who studies demonology very much, so I can't really argue either way or give you a sensible comment. So here we have the various lists of these angels. Names are often wildly at odds with each other, but for this pack, all except 3 of the 72 are taken from Johann Weyer's 1563 treatise, the Prestiges Demonium on the illusion of demons, which is detailed argument against the infamous Malleus Maleficarium, Hammer of the Witches, the manual of witch hunters, which was used for centuries across Europe and condemned thousands of so-called witches to the flames and other tortures. And then he goes on to talk a bit more about here. Source material for Weyer's great book of demonology came from a volume that he referred to as the Liber Officicarum Spiritum. And there's a lot more Latin that goes with that, which is Book of the Offices of Spirits, or the book called Empto Solonomis, concerning the princes and the kings of the demons. Its text itself seems to draw on much older sources. The most influential parts of Weyer's great work was an appendix which came to be circulated and published, Pseudomonarchia Daemonium, is it? False Kingdom of the Demons. This was essentially a list of fallen angels and their attributes, and it went on to become the foundation of the several occult classics, among which is the Goetia, the Lesser Key of Solomon. So there is one question I've definitely been asked about. And the most famous English edition of which was translated by S.L. MacGregor, Mathers, and the Order of the Golden Dawn, and edited in a rather bad-tempered fashion by the infamous Aleister Crowley. I love the way that's been described there. So it goes on about that there. And then the elements, angel gender, with these spreads, and then we have Solomon's seal. So the person who was asking about this, I don't know if those answer your question or not, but anything beyond that, you'll need to probably find somebody else on YouTube who's far more greater than me in knowledge. I mean, maybe even Foolish Fish might know about this deck and what it links into. So yeah, and then it's very simple when it comes to explaining the cards. So you have your name, the element, the planet, the message that comes from it, then you get like a deeper message, and you get a motto that goes with your card. Excuse me. So as we've said, it's 72 cards. These are the backs. They are quite large. Oracle size. And they did they kind of went neatly, but I didn't, as you know, I don't always put the oracle down to go with the deck. I put it down as that like kind of final message. So I think it's actually really nice. So this one gives us conflict with our Nine of Cups, Eight of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. So probably there's a bit of conflict there with the Eight of Cups, walking away from the kind of dreams and then ploughing into something new. So it's kind of conflicting in what you're doing. So we have danger, Eight of Pentacles with Temperance and Two of Pentacles. So there's a lot of balance there that's needed, burning the candle at both ends, finding your middle ground to stop yourself from being in danger. And here we have Ace of Pentacles with the Sun, Four of Cups, and danger of loss. So she does look like, so you could be at danger of losing something if you've set something up, ready to go, and then you're feeling a bit lost about it. Excuse me. Okay, so we put those ones away. Sorry about my cough. What can we say? Real life problems. So that was my weeklies, and of course it comes in this box. I've cut off this piece of cardboard here. I've cut it off over here. I don't know why. I just had a moment and decided that that's what I was doing. I don't know that it's helping me any, but it's done now. Right, so moon spreads. I'm just going to get some water. Right, so my moon ones was, where are we? The Moonchild Tarot. That was the first one that I used. Oh, I think my COVID's going to really interfere with this now. It's starting to come in as a proper cough. Brilliant. So I'm sorry. I probably won't speak a lot. I'll just maybe flip through the cards and then you can admire at your own discretions here. So It's just a nice deck, very beautiful. I very rarely use this deck, if I'm being honest. It's just too big and bulky. And I've left those extra cards in, so we've got the shadow work there. That's the Moonchild and a couple of others. The artwork is gorgeous. It's lovely, serene images, and I do use the book for this one because a lot of the images mean absolutely nothing to me. So that's the Moonchild. And then I use the Tarot of Mystical Moments, which I very much like. This is the mass market one. So, just off screen, there we are. So I know I've shown this one before. Really nice surreal deck. Lovely images. I mean, look, even the tower coming apart and she's still hugging it. Oh, Seven of Swords. Is she stealing the egg, or is she protecting the one that she needs to? I like that. Okay, I feel like I'm going to start having a massive coughing fit, so I might have to end this here. Alright, so let's put that one away. One final deck to show you. I'm sorry I can't spend much time actually talking you through the spreads this month. I think you can hear that I'll probably choke. So, Tower of the Spirit, Pam Rakins, Joyce Eakins, absolutely phenomenal deck. Beautiful artwork. These are the backs. It's chunky. It's US Games. I recommend getting this one. If this artwork suits you, then definitely get it. I've got the whole thing upside down. This is the one that I used to do the paranormal spread, that's a phenomenal spread, with Ginger Phase Musings for Mel. And I had like really interesting, it was the images that gave the really interesting read, because we were using the deck in a very different format to do those readings. And this one was just perfect, and that is just beautiful. Because I've only used it for that one spread, so I haven't, I've used it for a couple of spreads, but I haven't seen obviously many of the cards. But it is just beautiful, and I have the big book that goes with this, the Kabbalah book. The artwork, I think, speaks for itself. You do have like some glyphs in there as well. Look, so you've got Taurus, and then what looks like Gemini. Of course, there's thoth-inspired imagery in this as well. Isn't she gorgeous, Mother Earth? Love that one. And we do have keywords on as well. You might have spotted here. So Sacred Cord for Two of Water, or Two of Cups. Talking of Two of Cups, there's our lovers. And we have the Empress. What a cool spread. Seven of wind, or seven of air, seven swords, many tongues. Way of the Cross for 10 of wind. Interesting. yeah, okay. So I'm sorry I couldn't talk through spreads as I normally would, but I'm going to love you and leave you all there. I hope there was something of use in this video for you at least. And until the next one, I wish you all much love and luck. Take care. Bye-bye.